Hello everyone. Welcome once again to another Power BI tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part, we are creating retail sales transaction data analysis dashboard. This is part one. We'll come with two more parts where we have created some basic KPIs like total sales, average discount, average price per unit, average quantity sold, number of transactions. And we have created some simple filters like if customer type is regular, you can see their data. If they are returning customers, you can see their data. Then on the basis of different payment methods, you can see how sales by category and customer type is behaving. What is the sum of total sales by store location? And we are using a simple scatter plot and trend lines to understand relationship between total sales versus quantity. So all of this will be taught in this part. So let's get started and learn how to create this simple dashboard and publish. So this is retail sales transaction data set for data analysis practice. It has 200 rows and 9 columns. One is ID, which is unique. Then we have quantity, price per unit. We have total sales. So you can see if 5 quantities are there and 478 is the price per unit. So by multiplying them, we can get the total sales amount. Sometimes this column is not given, so we can calculate it by creating a calculated column in Excel or Power BI, whatever you are going to use. Next, we have product categories, we have store locations, and when customer has paid something, some amount, so how did they pay that amount and customer type. We also, so discount percentage is also given. On the basis of this, we will simply upload this data set. Its purpose can be practicing sales data analysis, exploring customer behavior, creating simple dashboards, running SQL queries on retail sales, or building predictive models. Now we will open Power BI desktop, and because the file is given as a CSV dataset, we will simply load it. So we'll click on get data and text CSV. Select your file and load it here. Make sure all the column headers are appearing properly with their values as we were seeing them in Excel file. And if that is the case, we can load the data. Now you can see retail sales data set is created. I will just rename it as retail sales because when I will create some DAX measures or columns with it, it will be easier for me to write. Now we will prepare our dashboard. So for heading, like what we are doing, we have to create a text box. So we will drag this text box here. And in this case, I am just going to put my heading in footer. So here, this is retail sales transactions data analysis. I will change the spelling. So this will be retail sales transaction data analysis dashboard, and it will be part one of three because we will have many other parts in this series, or two more parts. So in this part, we will first focus on exploratory analysis of the data set to understand relationship between different columns, and we will not focus on too many calculations, but in upcoming parts, we will learn more with DAX queries and DAX expressions, and I will create at least 20 different questions for this series. Now I will arrange it to center, and here we can select a light font color, and for this text box we can go to effects and we can select a dark background. Now we can select the text and increase its font size around 24. make it bold, and this will become our heading. You can increase or decrease the heading size as per your requirement. Next, what I do, it is not important, but we can also enable visual border. Use same color for visual border. Give it a 12 or 14 pixel rounded shape. So it appears like this. Next, we have this sidebar. We will use this sidebar for filters. So we will create insert and we will insert a shape, and in this shape we will simply put our filters, slicers. In the data set, things like a store location or data like a store location, payment method, customer type can all be used for filtering the data. And here we will use full width or full height of our canvas for these filters. And here also, if you want, you can go with another color or you can use the same color. If you want, you can add some icons on your data set to make it more attractive. For that, you can click on image. So this is something I have been doing in many other videos. I have a assets folder where I have different type of images or different type of purpose. So here, let's say I'll go with this image, or I can select this one as well. So which represents something like money collection, retail sales, these type of things. These images are transparent. So when you will put them on something that has a dark background, so it will automatically appear. I'm going to use for retail sales. I will use this icon. This is better. Let's use this one. These icons can be downloaded from Canva or similar websites. Make sure they are transparent when you upload them. So I'm just adding this text over here. If you want to learn data analytics, you can learn at slidescope.com. We provide live interactive classes as well and demo classes also. So you can contact us in the comment section. Next, now once everything is set up, we will start building some KPIs. If date column is not given, so you can build the KPIs using simple cards. So we can create this card over here. Why I'm saying this? Because there is another KPI card where you can see value and trend axis. On this trend axis, we put something like date, and then this KPI works better. If it is not given, just use cards. So first we will create one of them and try to adjust. You can see these red guidelines will help you in where to place it. You can give some right and left margin. You can make equal right and left margin as well. So first KPI for us will be what is the total sales. So we will bring total sales and it will show sum of total sales. Here we will write sum of sales. So this will give us that in 200 transactions, total sales is 570K. Now this total sales column is a monetary value. So you can go to table view, and in table view, if any monetary value is given, you can select it and select currency from here. Like you can format it as a currency. Once you will do that, a dollar sign will appear. So and values will be shown like this. So this is how you can show that. And here for this particular visual, we will click on format visual, call out value. We will reduce the size of it to around 30 and color like this. Later, I will show you a simple trick to change the color if you If you will prefer that, we will go with that as well. So here we will make it bold and we can increase its size also. So if you prefer light text, you can go with this style, or if you prefer bold, you can go with the bold style. So we can just create this KPI. After creating this KPI, we have to give some styling to it. So very quickly, we'll go to General tab, Effects, and here we have Visual Border. Visual Border, I will select white, and Shadow I will enable. For Visual Border, I will just put 12 pixel as rounded corner. So this will become sum of total sales. Now copy this and paste. So it is simply Control C, Control V in Windows. For Mac users, you can also go with copy and paste or whatever is command for you. Next is here, after showing sum of total sales, we can also show what is average discount percentage. So here we can go with average discount percentage, and average discount percentage is 9.63. If we actually go there, this is discount percentage, and if the data is a percentage data, we can select this percentage sign. Now you can see, because the data is given in such a format, when we are going with percentage sign, it is appearing as 1000%. So this will not work for us. So sometimes it is given in fractions like 0.10, 0.20. Then if you will do this, it will automatically start showing percentage sign. We can try to create a new measure, and we can call this measure as average discount. For this formula that we will use is average formula, and in retail sales we will select discount percentage. So this will automatically give us discount value. If you just create this, and instead of this we drag this measure average discount. Now, but this is something that we were already seeing. So there is another function called concatenate. In concatenate function, you can take the first text value and then you can take another text value. So we can say percentage is our second text value. So we have created we have applied two arguments to this concatenate function. And if we do that, now you can see it is showing it as percentage. Obviously, when it is showing three decimal places. So if you want, you can round that figure, but we will go with this. So now we have average discount. Now, once we are adding these things, why we kept this area as for filters? Because for exploratory data analysis, these filters will be very important. And one thing is, for example, if we have a slicer over here, so we will just drag a slicer, adjust its width and height. So this is our slicer. I'm aligning it to center, and then we will add customer type to this slicer. So there are four type of customers: new, regular, returning, VIP. First of all, we will rename for this visual property. So we will write it as customer type. Now for these slicers, we can go and disable the background. Then in visual, we have slicer settings. If you want, you can show it as a vertical list. We have selection, so that is not important. We have slicer header, where font color is dark color. We will go with a light color. If needed, we will increase its heading size also. Then we will select values, and for values we will select a font color, same font color. So this way our slicer will be created. If we are going with open slicer, like if we are going with slicer setting options as vertical list, we will enable background also, will enable visible border also. And this time visual border will also be of same color and rounded corners will be 10 or 12. So this way you can create your slicers. For VIP you can see how it is behaving. For returning it is showing actual exact 12%. So that's why I said sometimes this round will be needed because the if you will round this to two decimal places, so it will be actually it will be better as a visibility or readability point of view. So what we need to do is we will just add round function here. So here you can see we have a round function. So concatenate, first we are rounding this average of retail sales discount to two decimal places, and then we are adding it with percentage sign. So now every time it will round to two decimal places. So that's why these slicers are important, and that's how you use simple DAX functions. Now we can create multiple copies and we can simply paste it one by one to create more KPIs. So here, sorry for so here you can see we have price per unit. So for price per unit also we will use average. That is average price per unit. Now returning customers, average price per unit, regular customers. So you will be able to understand that. We will add more filters soon. Before that, we'll create KPIs. And here we will simply rename in short. You can call it average of as ABG. This will be average price per unit. And we also have average quantity. So we can also write average quantity sold. Average quantity sold per transaction or per order. So these will become our KPIs. I'm adding another visual here because obviously in our case, total number of customers are 200, but when you are working on an actual data, so you have to show how many customers you have. So for this, you can see I'm going to use count distinct, and it is doing count of ID. This is number of transactions basically. So we can simply write rename for this visual as hashtag transactions, or you can write it in short also hashtag transactions, however you want to write. So when we are working with data sets like this, there are features and there is a target. So in our case, target is total sales because we want to see what are the factors that will give us more sales, what are the factors that can generate more transactions, and because number of transactions are directly proportional to total sales. So we will pick total sales as our common field, and then we will pick other key performance indicators and see their performance, and we will pick these different categorical fields also and see how total sales varies across different categories that we have. So if we go with customer type, so we can click customer type and we can click total sales. This way Power BI will automatically create a table chart for you which will give us information that there are obviously we have seen that there are four type of customers. We will adjust the height here, so you can see, and we actually have to fit three charts in one row. we'll do that. But before that, you can see we have four values. And for this type of data, we can select a bar chart or a stacked column chart. This type of chart can be selected. For example, if we go with a clustered bar chart or even a stacked bar chart, it will be the same. So we can create a data like that. So it's very easy. Just select them and change their data type. Because when we select one categorical and one numerical, you can see. So on x-axis, total sales will come, and on y-axis, the categorical field will come if you are going with a stacked bar chart or a horizontal bar chart. Now here sum of total sales is written. So you can see I am just renaming the fields here so that they appear in heading. You can see total sales by customer type. So here I will go and in title. So in general settings we find title. There I can go with heading color which I can align, and if needed I can increase its size to 50. This is total sales by customer type, and you can see for VIP customers total sales is highest. One more thing we can do here, we can go with visual settings and we have uh, data labels here which we can enable, and in data label we can say position is inside and for all of them. Finally, as you can see, we have some rounded corner and shadow. So we can go to this visual setting, general tab, effects, where we can enable visual border and shadow. For visual border, I will use the white color so that that border is not visible because our background is white, and we will add 12 pixel rounded corner. This is total sales by customer type. Now we will copy this, or if you don't want to copy, I will show you. You can copy using format painter also. Let's try to create the next chart. So for next chart, we will select total sales and we will select payment method. So now you can see it is automatically showing sum of total sales by payment method, and it has automatically selected a vertical chart. So in this vertical chart, we can automatically show this data, or you can also go with a pie chart. We can now select this copy format painter and apply here. So now it will show sum of total sales by payment method. I will just rename it as total sales. It will be total sales by payment method. As I said, in one row, we have to fit three visuals. So we will adjust the width accordingly. Now we have selected the second categorical column, that is payment method, and simple trick or simple, you can make it as a template also, that whatever categorical columns you are selecting, you can put them in filter also. So we can bring payment method here. Obviously this space is less, that's why we can use drop down also when needed, and obviously this branding text I will remove if needed. So this is total sales by payment method. Next is product category and total sales. So we'll select total sales and product category. This will again create a bar chart because the first choice for Power BI for categorical versus numerical data is this, a bar chart. And bar chart is actually very easy to read and is one of the mostly used charts. But in this case, because we are learning what other kind of charts can be used, so when we have this kind of data, we can go with a tree map also. So you can see we have sum of total sales by product category. So we can just rename it as total sales by product category, and we can copy and apply format painter. Try one more time. So here in you can see data labels are automatically enabled. Here in a tree map, the size of these rectangles show the value. So you can see in groceries, total sales is highest, then clothing, then electronics, then we have furniture, and finally we have books. It goes like this, and there is an ordering also, just like a tree, starting from lowest and just like a tree branch expanding to highest value. Let's arrange them. So now we have this. So you can see here we have three categorical fields and one common numerical field, that is total sales. As a beginner, suppose you have to create a graph between two numbers. So for example, quantity versus total sales. So if we select them, you can see as a bar chart, it is showing us two clustered bar charts. Okay. One is sum of quantity, which will always be less because sum of quantity, average quantity sold is 10, sum of quantity sold will not be 569.89K. For these type of charts, we go with a scatter chart where, because in a scatter chart, you can actually see the relationship between two numerical variables. Basically, we have put sum of quantity on x-axis and sum of total sales on y-axis. And why is this? Because we want to see if total quantity is increased, then will that increase total sales also? So here it is like a discrete value. So you will see some bar like scatter points. So we will just go with don't summarize. So here you can see that when quantity is increasing, sum of total sales is also increasing. When quantity is 1, in that case, sum of total sales is very less. But when quantity is more, sum of total sales is high. You can go and don't summarize. So in this case, it is showing for every quantity, every total sale value. These are 200 points. But we can do it as a you know, aggregate value also. So we can take y-axis as an aggregate value also. Here you also have a trend line which you can enable to see this trend line that it is going up. That means quantity and total sales or sum of sales have a positive correlation. That is what it is representing. So this is important. So we can select format painter and apply it here as well and adjust its width and height accordingly. Next, we also have a store location, which is important for company. So a store location wise total sales. In a store location, so you can see one thing here. Like if I am selecting a categorical field first and then a numerical, it is showing me a default table chart. If we are selecting total sales, so if we are selecting total sales first, it is showing a bar chart. Like this is one difference why sometimes we are seeing a table chart, why sometimes we are seeing a bar chart. Now for store location wise total sales, suppose we want to rank them also. So we can go with a funnel chart. In a funnel chart, you can see Chicago comes at first position. Its shape is just like a funnel, and the values help us define that shape. So Houston with least amount of sales is on bottom, and it also shows percentage of previous. So like Houston is 84.89 percentage of Los Angeles. Okay, if we go with Los Angeles, it is 94.65% of New York in terms of sales. So that's how it can be read. And it also shows what is it as compared to percentage of first. So Miami, sum of total sales is given, percentage of first and percentage of previous, both are same because it comes at the second position in order. You can copy this and apply it here. So this is sum of total sales by store location. And finally, we will create another chart. So for all the charts that we have used above, we have gone with two fields. Only two fields are used. If fields are more, let's say if they are more than two, let's say we want to see customer type wise product category preference and total sales. So we will go with a ribbon chart because in ribbon chart we have x-axis. In x-axis we can bring product category, which is one important categorical field for us. Then customer type. So what product category is preferred by what customer type. So we can bring customer type as legend here. And we can keep sum of total sales on y-axis. And what this ribbon chart does is it shows us rank of preference. So groceries. Groceries are preferred by VIPs. And because sum of sales by VIPs for groceries and clothing is on top, but electronics it is on bottom. Then for furniture, you can see furnitures are bought by more regular customers, and even books are bought by more regular customers. Returning customers buy more electronics. So this is how you can use two categorical fields and one numerical field and see their interranking with each other. So here, instead of writing sum of total sales, I will just write sales here because I have to make the heading smaller. So this is sales by product category. So I will just name it as category, sales by category and customer type. And now we will use them as filters also. So we will just drag it, and here we will go with first. Let's clear filter. So here we will go with drop down. This is payment method, and then now you can see we have added all the filters, and you can filter data accordingly. When we are using drop down, so you can see this is not appearing properly. So for drop down values, we have to go to background, and we have to select the same color for background. So now it will appear. Similarly here also, in this drop down also, we will do the same thing. You can go with alternate colors, but I'm just showing you what you can do. Now you can see height of this and this is different. So it is looking a bit weird. So we can select this and go to properties. Its height is 229 and its height is 262. So we can say, let's say 235 I'm using. We will make both of them 235. So I will just make both of them 235. Here also we will make 235 and then we will align them properly. So this way you can actually see the properties, make their height and width same so that you have equal gap and your alignment will be better. Similarly here also we will do the same thing. So I'm pausing and doing the same stuff. And once we have done that, we can then use others as reference also, and this red line will help us. So now we have these charts. And as I told you, here also first of all I'll make the alignment. Yeah. As I told you, I will show you a simple way to change the colors. So after you have created everything, make sure you have saved your dashboard. I've saved it as retail sales transactions. Then we can go to view, and Power BI has already given some themes. So because we only used primary colors given in the base theme, which is default theme. If we select any other theme, for example, if we select this, it will automatically assign that theme's colors, or this. This is what we were doing, or this one. So you can see how the colors are changing. So whatever you prefer, for example, if we prefer this color scheme, we can go with this as well, or this one. So you can see it has brown and chocolate kind of color. So it has pink and dark red or something maroon kind of thing. These type of colors can also be selected. So and then you can adjust. So whatever is your preferred theme, you can select it and just create your dashboard with it. So and then make the adjustment. Even if you want to go with this dark background, in such cases you just have to change the font colors. Like for these headings, you have to just change the font color because the background has become dark. Otherwise, all other themes will appear better. So that's why if we can go with this one also. Let's say I'm just saving it like this. So this is a simple way to create these dashboards, and this is something that you can now present as a project, or if you're creating for your business, you can use this report for analyzing data of your sales. The columns may be slightly different, but more or less you will be able to analyze your data. So I hope you like this tutorial. I hope you understand everything that we did here. This is part one. In part two, we will focus on more advanced calculations using DAX. And in part three, we will come up with more questions. So please subscribe to our channel so that you can receive notifications when we will upload data, when we will upload tutorials like this for you. Thanks once again. Have a nice day.